zoom, 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 zoom. Oh, I'm not supposed to be singing. I'm sorry. Marcus says, "Oh my God, OMG, I'm loving this Bobster." It's Coolster. Coolster. I'm gonna start calling him Bobster. Hey, Bobster. He's gonna say, "Shut up." Shut up. Maybe I should go to Star Nights and get the description for the moon and see what it says. Let's go see what it says about the moon. Find the moon. Moon. The moon is the brightest object in the night sky and has been a source of wonder from the first moment humans gazed upwards. It was likely formed about 4.6 billion years ago as a result of a huge impact of the Earth and a Mars-sized object. The moon is heavily cratered from impacts resulting from its formation. Over the 29.5-day lunar cycle, the moon passes through all of its phases, from new moon to waxing crescent to first quarter to waxing gibbous to full moon to waning gibbous to last quarter to waning crescent, back to new moon again. During each cycle, the moon keeps the same face toward Earth. We have been sending spacecraft to the moon since 1959. The first men walked on the moon in July 1969, and the last spacecraft to land on the moon was Luna 24 in 1976. Lunar eclipses are not rare events. They may happen several times in a year. During a total lunar eclipse, the moon takes on a variety of colors, the most obvious being an orange tinge. This is an enthralling event not to be missed. Okay. It appears to be tracking good. I mean, it's been sitting solid right in the monitor. It's a great shot. I'd like to sneak up to more of the shadow line. Good night, the Black Knight. Good night, the Black Knight. It's 4:30 a.m. in the UK. Thank you for coming. Thank you for sharing this with us. I know it's very early in the morning. You get some sleep, and we'll do this again another night. Um, it'll probably always be very early in the morning when we do it, but I'm sorry. Can't change the time zone. Can we have a full... Are we zoomed in or at all on it or no? Not yet, no. Somebody asked if we can get a full shot of the moon. We can't fit the whole moon in right now. Yeah, it's our focal reduction. Bye, Bizoon. Bye. Au revoir, mademoiselle. Au revoir. Au river. Au revoir. Hoot sweet. Oh. Oh, dude. I'm sorry. See you later, dude. Oh. I'm a dude. Au revoir, dude. Dude. Yes. Beavis. We're gonna focus a hair? I'll tell you when. I'll tell you when I see up here. I'm gonna focus this up here. Yeah, we need a little focus because you zoomed in, so we gotta focus it a little better. Tell me when you're moving stuff. That's the direction. Keep coming. Keep coming. Keep coming. Okay, hold on now. Now what we're getting is we're getting some heat waves and stuff. So I don't know if we're gonna get the crystal you want out of it, Bob. I mean, it still doesn't look totally in focus, but we're getting you see all the heat, the heat signature, or whatever. What do you get when you do a second exposure? Anything? You can't do any. You can't do exposures. Oh, yeah, that's the stuff that makes the stars twinkle, twinkle, twinkle. It's still a cool picture. Ooh, that brightened up a little bit. That brightened up a little bit. Where did it get that brightness from? Yeah, it put some nice little. It put nice new colors into it. It's brought up some higher whites. Ooh, ooh, that's a pretty cool spot. Peppered. The thing is peppered. Ooh. Okay, everybody. I've got to go. I got to hit the head. I'll be right back in a second. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? All right, Orcus. Thank you. I'm here. I'm back. Clean hands and all. No one wants to see a bunch of naked people on the moon.
I do.
I do. I mean, not a bunch of ugly naked people. Oh, Orcus. You need to stop flattering that man. Astro News says, I only want to see naked women on the moon. What Mrs. F have to say? Mrs. F has to say, F, just just stay away from it, F. F, just stay away. Don't give me any hassles. And Mrs. F says, if you don't give me any hassles, I won't give you any hassles. A new part of the moon. Yeah, my wife Robin, which is Bob's daughter. Bob is the guy next to me. That's his daughter. I'm married to his daughter. She's not here. She's with her friend because her friend was moving. We helped her friend move last week. So my son and my wife are with her friend and his aunt. She's gonna cut my toys and ship them in space. Thank God America doesn't have a way to get to space anymore, right? Change your nick to Astro Boob. Astro Boobs. Love boobs. What's going on over on the radio station, Randy, over on freedomslips.com? Anything good? They having a good Saturday night or nothing good going over there? So? Yeah. It's always so. We need some real good we need some really good shows over there. Talking about socialism. Oh my god. Yeah. What were they doing on the business channel? They were trying to describe the Occupy Wall Street protesters, and they were calling them socialist. And they had a lady on there. They have this blonde lady on there who's like a super mega entrepreneur or whatever. And she said she was going to go and take pictures of all the protesters and then use facial recognition so that she wouldn't hire anybody. She said, I'm not going to hire anybody that was protesting. Oh, hijacker. Oh my God. That man, that boy just wears on my soul. He just wants to run. He just wants to get a running start on every conversation, and he doesn't care about what other people have to say. Oh yeah. Did you hear my show last night, Randy? I know you did. You were there last night. He came on. He came on. He was my first caller, and I said, "Oh no, I can't have it." But then I let him call back, so I cut him off. I hung up on him, and then I had him back because I felt bad for hanging up on him. He asked me if the sun was out there. I said, "Yeah, the sun's still out there." Okay, hang up. The mob scene. Is that where you're calling? Is that where you're dialing in from, Orcus? The mob scene in downtown Florida, um, Orlando. Yeah. And then there's some people, Randy, who will say, "Oh, hijacker, you're such an intelligent guy. I mean, why even go there? He doesn't use his intelligence for any good, so you're not going down there. You're already down there. You don't have to go down there." Thank you, Bizoon, dude. Thank you, dude. Parlez-vous français, dude? No problemo. Ouais. What? Oui, toi? Oui, toi? Yes. Oui. Oui. Yes, I. It's nice to have people from all around the world. You know, the whole astronomy, comet Lenin, comet, you know, it's not central. It's not a regional situation here. Certain people from around the world have been informed or have informed themselves about the objects that have been claiming to be on their way to cause us trouble. We find it here on the Cosmic Obsession broadcast. I find it on YouTube. I find it on Facebook. It is not just an American or Canadian or whatever Western situation. I mean, I find that this topic does go around the whole globe before it finds a hold a hold on local your local groups of people. Mange de bouzinet. Mange. Mange de bouzinet. How you doing? Yes, it is my first French lesson. Oui, oui, monsieur. Dude. And as it goes around the world, the facts get effed up. Well, as long as you keep going around the world and come back to where you started from, um, I mean, if there's a problem in finding an amateur astronomer to follow or to listen to, the problem I've found myself personally is there isn't that many of them. You have people like Ian Musgrave, you have people like Michael Metziola, who are at least respectable and trustworthy people enough to where you would believe what they say about space, but I feel like those people are not putting out enough information. The people the people who I would trust are not putting out information, and the people I don't trust are just dumping information, you know, just major dumps of information at any given time. Comet becomes a brown dwarf. Impossible. You're wrong. You're wrong or wronger. Yes, we are better informed through the internet. We can't spend too much time hypothesizing with people. We need to, you know, I want to stick. You know, that's why it was nice for me. I go out and take some pictures, tell people what's in the pictures, and move on. You know, what I found out this week is that the telescopes are putting, you know, RBI, residual bulk images, in your first couple of shots. So if you were like me and wanting to go use the global retinoscope network of telescopes, let me tell you that don't take just one picture. One picture is not going to give you what you need. You need to take, like I've been taking recently, 10 pictures. So that even if you have an RBI, which is a ghost image left over from the focusing of the telescope before you started imaging, you need to wait 1, 2, 3 images before that ghost image disappears. And a lot of that is what was showing up on my photos of the space where Comet Lenin should be this week. It was a bad week for taking pictures because just too much junk showed up that wasn't what I needed it to be. You're not getting to. Yeah, Bob's computer over here is keep on trying. It's trying to switch back from a wireless network to a hard line, which I've got it wired hard line, and he's not getting as much of the chat as I am for some reason because it wants to. His chat is just going on and off, and on and off. Matt in New Zealand, Matt in NZ, Matt in New Zealand says very nice. Like that shot. Thank you, Matt. Anyone with stellarium can attempt to pass themselves off as knowledgeable just the way of the net. Yeah, but here was my problem. I mean, here we are, we have Terrell, we have a man like Terrell telling us that there's a brown dwarf on the way, but the man won't go and learn how to use stellarium. All he wants to do is say, no, you can't see Comet Olenin. I don't know how you've seen Comet Olenin for so long. It's impossible. It's in the daytime sky. I mean, stellarium is only good if these people use it. I mean, and it'd be better if more people used stellarium, because if they wanted to go tell a half-truth, someone who's got the same program can go find out easily and quickly that they're telling a half-truth. And that's why most of the guys, ladies, whoever, most of the people who are trying to spread some cockamamie theories don't use really good tools so that they can't be proven right or wrong. T-Bar does use it well. I respect T-Bar. Um, his I mean, they're dry as the videos are probably about as dry as a dog bone, but I mean, I do love that he puts it. I love that he puts the pictures next to the software and shows you that the thing is where it's supposed to be. Orcus, you're easy to please. We all know it. I mean, it's a little dry. It's a little dry. Same with me. I am dry. I wasn't talking about me, but I am drier than dry. I'm like the salt flats. When I put on the mortician voice, or when I wake up too early, or desiccated, decimated, dusty muffins, desiccated. Is desiccated? That was decimated. I'd like to go as fast as I could on the salt flat. I mean, just I don't know what kind of machine you'd get in to get very fast, but I like that. I like when the motorcycles do it. I like it when they all do it. I mean, the rail cars and they're pretty cool. Motorcycle. There was a movie about with Anthony Hopkins and the Last Indian or something. That there was a story about a guy who took his Indian over from Australia, the world's fastest Indian. That was a good movie. That was a true story. He took that thing all the way over, and then they almost didn't let him. They almost didn't let him do his runs for whatever. Arizona Debbie, howdy, 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 howdy. This is Francis. We are outside at our mobile Cosmic Obsession Observatory, which is a spot in the driveway. We've had a good night so far. Some nice pictures. The telescopes were working right, working well. Our alignment, our setup went pretty smoothly. We were almost set up before the sun went down, so we cannot complain. Right now we're just looking at the moon. Probably pop around at another object here in a little bit. That's like calling a famous American a Canadian. Jeez. I bet you most famous Americans wouldn't mind being called Canadians. Everyone in Canada is nice. I'm happy of the situation. Too cold. Where are you, Truly? Where are you located, Truly? Are you in a hot spot? Florida, too cold. Orcus is in Florida, too. North Florida. Kissimmee. Kissimmee. Kissimmee mucho. Pensacola. We love Canadians in Arizona. I'm on the Florida line. Nope, Central, Franny. Orcus, I know you're in Orlando, Orcus. A Mad Painter's on the Georgia, Florida line. Central Florida, Northern Florida. Everybody's in Florida. Everybody wants to come to Texas. I heard today that everybody wants to come to Texas. 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 Kissing me mucho. Ohio, Astro New. I know guy, Jack in Ohio. Or is it Iowa? Jack in Ohio. I hate those bugs. Just for the barbecue bash. So I love Texas, just gotten too dry. Hate those bugs. I've been thinking moving to Texas. Yes, Texas is a good place. Cost of living is very, very affordable. I mean, cost of living is good. Cost of living is good down here. To hide from the government. Hi, Connor. This is Francis. What's up? We're looking at the moon. We've been broadcasting probably now a little bit over hour and a half. Broadcasting for a little while. So I'll keep broadcasting. It's going to start getting humid out here. I don't know if we're going to go a whole lot long. I can feel it because it's starting to cool off. So I mean, we might get another might get another hour viewing in. It's this whatever's going on with this Netgear thing that's causing a problem. Why don't I move this over more and we can read this together even? Oh, I don't know if I can if I've got the room. That Netgear that's giving you the problem. It wants to keep hooking up to the wireless for some reason. I've turned it off a couple of times. Your dad was a eunuch? Or did I just say that wrong? Oh, your dad was raised in Eunice. Need to get him off. Right click it and disconnect. Is there a right click? Right click. Disconnect. See, it wants to hook you right back up again. I don't know why it wants to do that. Humidity keeps you moist. No dry muffins in humidity. In high humidity. Great. How far away is the moon? The moon, on average, is 238,000 miles away. On average, the moon is 238,000 miles away. On November 8th, asteroid YU-55 comes 221,000 miles away from Earth, so closer than the moon. On November 8th, asteroid YU-55 comes 221,000 miles from Earth. And then on November 9th, it comes 217,000 miles away from the moon. Oh, you Eurozoners, you guys love metrics. If you're in Europe, you need to know your metricities. Metrics. Kilograms, centimeters, meters, millimeters, kilometers. Over here in the U.S. of A, we were taught how to follow the solar calendar and count in inches. They want to they think of us as mushrooms. They keep us in the dark and covered in shit. So I don't know what the kilometer translation from kilometers to miles is, except that I know it's 221,000 miles, which would, be 381,000 kilometers, I guess. Times 0.6, Craig. So it's times 0.6. So it's 230. Yeah. Yeah. Which part of Earth are you going to... Fran, have you any idea in which part of the Earth YU-55 is going to be visible? I'll tell you that 7 days before it gets here, YU-55 is at the height of the equator. Okay. Before that, it's below the equator. Right now, it's below Earth. So YU-55 is going to be an object that you would see from Australia, and then once it's gotten past, you know, anything. So November 1st on, it'll start becoming more visible to the northern hemisphere because it's moving up to get over Earth. So right now, YU-55 is a good shot from Australia. Later on, it'll be a good shot from the northern hemisphere. I have any idea which part of the Earth? Yeah, well, Earth is like north or south. It's not really, do I know if Australia is going to see it or if, South America is going to see it? I'm just thinking of it from the north-south aspect. A week before, it'll be Australia, and then, from a week before till past, it'll be northern hemisphere because it'll be rising above the equator. Is it's a big rock? Yes. No. Well, yes. I have the report that it's a 50-story building, which makes it, I think it was 175 meters, making it about 500 feet. 500 feet? No, not 150 kilometers. No. 175 meters makes it, no, not 3 times bigger than the moon. It's 175 meters. It's a 50-story building. 150 meters. 400. No, so that's 3. That's 550 feet. It's a skyscraper. It's a 50-story building. 500 feet. 50 stories. Yeah. Stories 10 feet. It's not a mile. It's not a mile. But again, interesting enough, the asteroid, 7 days before it gets here, will be at Earth's equator. So it has 7 days to travel, and it's coming up from the bottom, up to over Earth. When it gets the closest approach to Earth and the moon, the asteroid is above Earth, above the North Pole, higher than Earth. So, what was I going to say? Okay, so look, consider this. That angle that it's coming at is a hard angle to puncture Earth's atmosphere again. Rocks that come in at these slight angles or steep angles, if they want to come and interact with us, but it's not a drastic, plunging in, there's a potential that this object could just skip off the atmosphere. Now that would mean that, well, if the atmosphere wasn't there, would it have hit Earth? It might have. But I mean, the orbit doesn't say that it's going to hit Earth. The orbit doesn't say that it's going to dash off the atmosphere. These are, what if it comes closer than they expect? I mean, I see that this thing could just dash off. Now, the moon, it's a different story. The moon's got no protection. If it wants to dash off the side of the moon, it's going to dash off the side of the moon. Skippy. This rock has an elliptical trajectory. I do not know the number on the orbit. An elliptical trajectory. Yes. An elliptical trajectory. If that means from bottom up, from underneath and up, yes, that's yes. I don't know what elliptical actually means. Coming from the bottom and heading up. 7 days before it gets here, it's at the equator of Earth. Astro noob, you're such a noob. It's going to hit the moon and knock it into us. A 50-story building building could not knock the moon 238,000 miles into Earth. Something half the size of the moon. Well, then again, it depends on how it hits it. But I don't think a 50-story building is. Look at some of the craters. Look at some of the craters on the moon. Some of those craters were created by 50-story buildings already. And what it left was a crater. Oh my God, Astro New. It's a brown dwarf, everybody. Oh, lordy, lordy, look who's 40. Is that Terrell? Yes. Astro Noob. Yes. Terrell is an Astro Noob. Oh, come on. It's a 175-meter brown dwarf, really? Is it, or is it just a chunk of a neutron star? Let's just call it a chunk of a neutron star. Terrell's little brother? That's racist. Surely it's a colored dwarf. Wait, what? Are you serious? How many people get 39? Woohoo! I'm getting some stuff started. You're doing that on purpose, aren't you, noob? I see what you're doing, noob. I'm gonna get the bounce. I got the bounce finger out. We're gonna bounce you. We're gonna bounce the dwarfers. Provocateur. We're gonna bounce. We're gonna bounce all the dwarfers. Everyone who believes in the brown dwarf, raise their hand. I guess nobody wants to raise their hand. Great view, Bobster. Nobody calls him Bobster. I had a dream too, but I woke up before it was damn finished. About a blue planet. I raised my hand. Harley raised her hand. Okay, we're gonna get out the bounce finger. Bounce. What was the question? Oui, est un provateur. Oui, oui. Provocateur. Well, I'm still trying to find out, or I'm still trying to decide what day I'm going to tell you all my big secret. My big, big secret.